Hey folks, Ray from Love Your RV. So I'm back with my last update of this year's Snowbird trip. Each month I've done an update, and this will be the April update. If you've missed any of the previous ones, I'll link back to them. Anyway, this month saw us moving north quite rapidly. We got to get back to British Columbia by the start of May. So we started off down. We wanted to see the flower bloom in California, and Antelope Valley has a very cool poppy bloom that happens, and it was a good year because of all the rains that happened in California. So we started there, and then we moved over to Primm just as a stopover. It's a casino, a bunch of casinos there, and we were able to overnight there because we wanted to go up this Highway 93. Last year we went through Utah and then through Idaho and down the Columbia River Gorge. So we decided we'd take a little bit of a different route and go up the eastern Nevada, which we've never been before. So that was interesting. We started off with a couple days at a wildlife refuge, Pahranagat, and then moved up a bit and stopped at Cathedral Gorge State Park. After that, we moved up. We wanted to check out Great Basin National Park, and we found a campsite at this Sacramento Pass BLM campground. After that, we moved up quite a large jump here because we had to beat out some cold weather. It was moving in, and we just stopped over for the night in Twin Falls at a fairgrounds, same one we stayed at last year. And then we moved another hop and overnighted at a Walmart. And then the next hop saw us back on the Snake River at a new to us BLM site that was really pretty, near an RV park called Oasis on the Snake, right near Farewell Bend where we stayed last year. Took another hop over. There's quite a pass here, the Blue Mountains, and stopped at Wildhorse Casino. And then hopped down to where we've been the last 5 days at Columbia Hills Historic State Park. So in this video, I'll kind of give you an overview of each of our stops. I have two of them that I did full videos on. This Cathedral Gorge State Park was worth doing a video, and Columbia Hills State Park was worth doing a full video. So I have videos for those. I'll just link back. But the other ones, I have some still photographs and maybe some on-the-ground video and stuff like that, just to give you an overview. And I'll finish it with a slideshow of some of the better photos I got. So let's get to it. First up, the Antelope Valley California Poppy Reserve. It's right near Lancaster, California. We didn't camp anywhere close by. I happen to have friends in Mojave, California, and just driveway surfed there, so we could cruise in here and check it out, and it was well worth it. It wasn't quite as stunning as 2019. I'll link to that video, but it was pretty good. Got some really nice photos, and we're able to see scads and scads of the wildflowers, so it was worth coming back to Mojave to check that out for sure. From there we moved several hours down Interstate 15 towards Las Vegas and ended up spending overnight at this Buffalo Bills Resort and Casino. Now this was closed a few years as they renovated it, and last time we were here we had to park in the front when we overnighted, but now the big parking lot in the back is open up again. So it's easy right off the highway. You just go in here, and then there's just huge amounts of room back here. A lot of times some semi-trucks park back here, RVs. We came down and parked right on this corner here along these trees, so that was nice. And it was a pleasant overnight. You don't actually hear the interstate traffic too bad. So, and you don't have to register or anything for the casino, which is nice. So we just kind of overnighted there, and then headed out after that to head to the Pahranagat Wildlife Refuge. We had to go through Las Vegas. So we actually went through on a Sunday, and it wasn't too bad. I had posted a video if anybody's curious of what it's like to drive through Las Vegas on Interstate 15. It actually wasn't too bad, especially being Sunday. There wasn't too much traffic, and they have quite a few lanes. I just kind of pick one of the inside lanes and blast right through there. Then about maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours from Vegas, up Highway 93, we stopped at this Pahranagat National Wildlife Refuge. As I had read, there was some free camping here, right on this upper lake. So you go in here, and there's, I'd say maybe about 14 campsites in here. You take off the highway and you go down a long gravel road, and the sites are distributed along this lake. Very pretty. We ended up right down at the end and found a campsite beside a few other people. You hear the traffic quite a bit as it goes by here, but it kind of lessens out at night, so it didn't bother us too much. And it was very pretty. We only stayed a few nights because the temperatures were actually going way up. There was a little bit of a heat wave, and it was going to be around 85 or 90 degrees Fahrenheit in a few days, so we decided to get out of there because we don't have air conditioning when we're off grid. But it was a free stopover and really enjoyed it, and bookmarked it for a return visit. I actually have some dash cam footage of the entry here, just if people want to see what it looks like. Then we moved more north up 93 and actually up in elevation from about 3,500 feet to near 5,000. So the temperatures cooled and they're right kind of nice in the 70s. And we actually stayed 5 nights at this Cathedral Gorge campground. And like I say, I made a video for that, so I'll link to that if you want to check it out. But that is really a gem of a campground. Very interesting sandstone, kind of silty clay cliffs from a lake that drained away. So well worth a visit there. We really enjoyed ourselves. So another few hours north on Highway 93, and then maybe a half hour or so on Highway 50, you get over to the Sacramento Pass BLM campground. So we got in there, another free campground run by the BLM. Really pretty location, and actually really nice campsites and stuff like that. So I have some footage from there on the ground. I'll put that up in a little while and to show you some pictures from there. But one reason we wanted to go there is to see Great Basin National Park. We had heard it's really nice. Unfortunately, though, this time of year, Great Basin, the mountains were still quite full of snow. So there's a drive you go up, a scenic drive that winds way up here, right to a kind of a scenic lookout and that. But we couldn't get much further than about here, so we went over and had a look. There's also the Lehman Caves or Lehman Caves. They're sort of like Carlsbad caves. We didn't actually go in because we've been with Carlsbad Caverns before. And there was also quite a bit of water in the caves. They were saying you would need rubber boots and wet weather gear to go in. I think they charge you $10 or $15. You have to go in with a tour or whatever. So we didn't do that. We just kind of cruised around. Like I say, we couldn't get up into the higher elevations where most of the campgrounds are. So it was neat to see. It was pretty scenic just from below, but we'll have to go back there sometime when it's a little warmer to really take advantage and see the whole national park there. But like I say, this was really pretty down here, and I'll give you a little bit of video footage of that campground. After spending several days at the Sacramento Pass BLM, there was cold weather really moving into northeastern Nevada. It was going to get down below freezing, chance of snow and stuff. So just before that, we made a long journey. It was about 4.5 hours to get up to Twin Falls and to a little town just beside Twin Falls called Filer. And there's a county fairgrounds there for $20 a night. You can dry camp in one of the fields. We had spent a week or so in the last trip there. I can link back to that video I did on Twin Falls. But all we did went in there for a couple days as the cold weather was coming through. And actually, once again, just like last year, it snowed on us in Twin Falls in April, which is not abnormal. You're kind of in a high mountain country, but we didn't do too much there other than just hunker down. It was windy and snowy and cold. Next stop was an overnight in a Walmart in a town called Mountain Home. We actually needed to get some groceries and stuff, so it was a good place to stop over. And there's a nice right here you can park your RVs along. There's a few different places you can, get your RV for the night. So it was a free overnight there. We did some shopping. And it was a little noisy with the highway and stuff, but it was just a quick overnight on our way down Interstate 84 towards Oregon. And a few more hours down 84, we landed at a new spot to us, right near this oasis on the Snake. This is a Snake River near Farewell Bend. And just near this RV park, there's actually a BLM area. And they've put in some fire rings and picnic tables and set up a few sites right along the river. There's also a boat launch. So that was a nice little spot. Very pretty this time of year. Easy to get there off of Interstate 84, just along, I think, this Highway 201. So we stayed there a few days, enjoyed the scenery, had some pretty nice weather. There was also a ton of birds along here. So that was interesting, watch the birds. I guess the trees there attract them. There was ducks also in the water and various other waterfowl. So that was a good stopover for us. Nice to find a place like that. Down the way a bit, last season we had stayed at Farewell Bend State Park right down here, which was pretty as well, but you're paying, I think, somewhere about $38 a night to stay there. There's also a truck stop near there, but I'll link back to that video that I did last year if you're interested. The next leg of the trip is a kind of a tricky area. You go from down here where we were on Farewell Bend on the Snake River, keeps going that way, and you move along here and go over what's called the Blue Mountains up around La Grande here, and then you go through, there's a Cabbage Hill, Dead Man's Pass. So it's pretty steep and the weather can be really iffy up here. Last year we went through, there was quite a bit of snow on the side of the road. I have actually dash cam of coming down this hill. I'll link back to that. This year it was pretty warm, but there was some fog and rain right at the top. But usually once we finish that trip, we come down the other side, and this is very popular with RVers, is this Wildhorse Casino. As you come down, Interstate 84 is here. There's a big fuel stop here that has pretty good prices. They have propane and a dump. But back here, this casino has lots of spots for RVs. You can see all these lines. They're all lined up. So you're allowed to go in there and camp for free. You don't need to go in and register or anything. This area is usually full of trucks at night. And there's another area, I saw some RVs over here. So when we were there was probably about 25 RVs that were overnighting coming through there. So it's a very good stopover to keep in mind. And the final stop is right here in the Columbia River Gorge, just before when you get into the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area that goes through here over to Portland. You can see Mount Hood dominates the landscape here for a lot of the views. There's waterfalls, all sorts of things. So we stopped this time at Columbia Hills Historic State Park, and I've recently done a video on that. If you missed it, I'll link to it. And this time we also went in and took some views in around here of the waterfalls. Multnomah Falls is a dual cascading waterfall that's really tall and really cool. So I have some photos from there and a little bit of video for you. But that'll conclude the update for April. We still have a little bit of ways to go. Not too far though, maybe like 2 hops and we'll be back to Vancouver Island for the summer. Anyway, till next time, Ray from LoveYouRV.com. Cheers, guys. 16th, 2023. We wanted to visit Great Basin National Park and found this BLM site called Sacramento Pass Recreation Area. Just gorgeous. It's a free BLM campsite right off of Highway 50. Just turn a little bit east here and you can see the highway heading off that way. If you keep going on it, not very far is Utah. We're in the very eastern part of Nevada. Up pretty high right now. I'm sitting around 7,500 feet. That's why there's still snow up here, even though we're in the desert. Lots of junipers, bristlecone pines up here. Lots of forest land and BLM land. I think 50 is called the loneliest highway. Goes right across Nevada. But yeah, this is a sweet little spot here. Just camping for a few nights while we go in to see Great Basin. We went in there. They have some really cool caves, Lehman Caves, you can go down into. You can pay and go for a tour. We wanted to go on the Wheeler Scenic Drive, Mount Wheeler, but you can see all the snow up there. It's not really open yet. We were only able to drive up to one of the lower campgrounds. Still very pretty. This camping area even has a little pond in the middle, and they stock it with trout. You can see some people down there fishing. It's pretty nice. There's a pit toilet, garbage disposal, and then at each campsite you have a shelter with a picnic table and a fire pit, cement pad. Amazing for a free campsite. I think there's 7 campsites down here on this lower loop. Then you can go up past that really cool rock outcropping there. See right up there, looks like an old Western movie. And you go up that road and around the corner is 3 more sites that they call the horse camp for people to bring their horses. There's places to tie your horses up in a little corral. But right now it's empty, so I guess you could probably go up there and camp as well and have a little bit better view of the mountain. But great hiking around here too. Love it. Nice information center. So you can see the camping here. We're just camped up on top. Fishing pond. And then, like I say, the upper equestrian trailhead and campground. There's some camping up there as well. There's a horse corral. Some hiking and horse trails around here. Here we are here. So to get to Great Basin National Park, just drive down the highway a bit, down to Baker, and then up. Pretty easy. I think it's about a 25-minute drive.